Well, here I am back on the Only in Cleveland podcast, and it has been a minute since I've done one of these, so bear with me. The reason I decided to come on back, at least for this episode, is because my Cleveland Cavs. You see, I'm rocking the Cleveland Cavs shirt, got the sticker back there, banner hanging. They're making some noise in terms of the trade deadline that is going to be here Thursday at 3 o'clock. Uh, so the Cavs for the last couple of years, anybody who's followed the Cavs have known they got the core four, they call them, which is Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley, and Jared Allen. We've watched them take steps in the playoffs. First round, playing first round, second round is where they've been stuck. And we've hoped to continue to see that growth. And this year they were very excited about where they could go. And, last year, everybody was excited for the Cavs. They had a great year. Disappointing playoff run, to say the least. So at the end of the year, it was, you know what? Between the local media, Cavs fans, and the national media was, you're going to have to show me something come playoff time. So the Cavs could have went 82-0 this year. And it still would be, yeah, they're a great team, but they need to do it in the playoffs. So at least for me, this was the first time that I wasn't really excited about the regular season, because if I did catch myself getting excited, I would have people saying, let's see what they do come playoff time, which is understandable. So it was, this regular season wasn't going to matter unless they have a bad regular season. And here we are getting close to the All-Star break. And I wouldn't say they're having a bad season, but they are probably the biggest disappointment in the NBA this year. The East is wide open. Halliburton for the Pacers tore his Achilles. Jason Tatum tore his Achilles. You got a young Detroit team with Bickerstaff. So the East is wide open. And the Cavs, for the most part this year, haven't really grabbed the East and taken control. So as we get ready to go into the trade deadline, like I said, this Thursday, February 5th, everyone wondered, what can the Cavs really do? They're a second April team, the only second April team, so there's a lot of restrictions they have. And so there's not a lot they could do. It was always moving pieces around that core four. Well, late last night, news broke that a member of that core four, Darius Garland, could be traded. And he could be traded for James Harden. Now, I saw this news, and at first I didn't think this was, no way this is happening. Then I wake up this morning and I see more news of it. I see more, the NBA guys starting to report it. And I want nothing to do with this. James Harden's 36. James Harden hasn't performed like James Harden in the playoffs. And he's never happy anywhere he's at. Granted, if they would trade for him, the bigs on this team, Mobley and Allen, would probably have great seasons, great half of the seasons, however long he's here. But in terms of him and Donovan, I don't know how that would work. So fit wise, I don't know how it's gonna work. Now he's got one more year left. He's got a player option left on his contract, but he wants to get paid one more contract. He's not looking to come to Cleveland and not get paid. He wants to get paid. He's 36, like I said. He wants a contract. Now, how long-term of a contract? I don't know. Rumor has it that he wanted 2 years, $80 million. So you're looking at 40 mil for 2 seasons. But the more I listen to, whether it's the Danny Cunninghams, the Mikey McNuggets, the Brian Windhurst, guys in the know, the more it seemed, especially from Wendy, what was happening here was the Cavs took a pivot. Like I said, the Cavs have been pushing the core four, taking steps every year. At some point during this first half of the season, the Cavs front office, Dan Gilbert, looked at this team that he's paying the most money in the league, which he has no problem doing that. But you should be dominating the East. You should be going to the finals like he did back when LeBron was here in his second stint. And they're not. They're struggling. So they made a decision that this core four ain't cutting it. So then it's, okay, of the core four, who are we gonna build around, and who can we move? Now, Evan Mobley, they've been waiting for Evan Mobley to take that step. We thought he did last year. He won DPOY. Had a great year. This year, so do they move him? I mean, maybe. But I think if you move him, you're talking when if you're trying to go get a Giannis, if you're swinging for the fence, then yeah, you maybe throw Mobley out there. Okay, when you look at Donovan, you're not moving Donovan. He's been the guy. He's been what LeBron was, and Mobley's what Kyrie was, is where you're looking at it. LeBron was looking at Kyrie. I'm going to hand you the keys. I need you to be the guy. I'll be here to help. Well, Mobley, we need him to be the guy. If we want to win a championship, he has to be the guy. Because we've seen what Donovan's done being the guy. We've seen it here. We saw it in Utah. Second round. That's as far as he'll get you. I mean, as great as he is, this isn't a knock on Donovan, second round. Well, with Evan not taking that jump, and you're looking at Donovan, and you're like, okay, well, he's our guy. So obviously we're not going to get rid of him. So Evan, for a certain guy or two, could be thrown in a trade. Donovan, I don't think we're going to trade him. Jared Allen, $20 million a year. It's a reasonable contract. He definitely can be moved. He's definitely somebody that could be in the mix. Heard his name out there today, so maybe he gets moved. Then you got Darius Garland, who is a small guard, as is Donovan. But he is now injury prone. He's got 2 big toes that could be an issue the rest of his career. So do you move him? So the rumor comes out, him for James Harden. Like I said, I wanted nothing to do with that. But then I started to think, and like I said, I was listening to those people. After this season, in the summer, Donovan Mitchell is up for an extension where he could be a top 3 paid player in the league. Like, he's going to make some money. Okay, so you need to have a good playoff performance, because if you don't, there's a good chance Donovan might go, you know what? I don't think it's going to work here. So now maybe Donovan started to think that, and he went to the front office and said, hey, this core four, it's time to break it up. We got to swing big. I'm ready to win now. I'm tired of having the reputation of if I can't get out of the second round. He's getting older. I believe he's 30. He wants to win. He wants to do whatever it takes to win. So maybe he went to Kobe in the front office and said, hey, whether it's Darius, whether it's Jared, as much as I love them, I love playing with them, this ain't it. So maybe they said, what about Harden? And he was okay with it. The point of it is, when in 2018, when LeBron came back, Cats had the number 1 pick that they took Andrew Wiggins. And they traded Andrew Wiggins for Kevin Love, the guy who's ready to win now. Whether it's LeBron or Donovan now, they're at a point where it's win now. I don't have time for Evan Mobley to become the guy. I don't have time for Darius to become what he's going to become. I want to win now. So you have to make moves to win now. And James Harden, because he's 36, because he's a proven player in this league. Granted, there is plenty of flaws to getting James Harden. And I can't argue any of them. So anybody that would push back and say, why would you trade for James Harden? I get it. But the only logical thing is they must want to win now. And they think, or they know, James Harden can get us closer to that. Is it a guarantee that if James Harden comes here, they're going to win or they're going to get past the second round? No. But they feel with Darius being injured, which he is right now, he's trying to come back from his second toe injury on the other foot, that we know where our ceiling is with him. And James Harden gets us past that. They must think that. So they're pushing all their chips in to win now, like they did in 2018. And the funny thing about in 2018, now granted, LeBron had the narratives, what he did in Miami, first stint in Cleveland, the GM, as they called him. But a lot of people said, oh, when LeBron came back, he's the one that wanted Kevin Love. He got Wiggins traded. He got these young assets out of here. And I'm curious to see if everyone's going to get ruffled by Donovan, if that's true. If Donovan, which he's never going to admit, it's never going to come out. But look, let's be honest. Your superstar player, which Donovan is our superstar player, he's our only all-star. When you decide to make trades, you're going to get his opinion on it. Are you going to listen exactly what he says? No. But you're going to let him know what you're thinking, what you're going to do, and how he feels about it. Which they did with LeBron. And I'm sure if they do trade Darius for James Harden, that's what they're doing now. But some people didn't like it when LeBron did it. Now, I guess they're okay with it. So I think that's what's going down here is they want to win now. You know, I saw some people say that because they're in the second apron, you make this deal for James Harden, which is pretty much a 1-for-1. I think Darius makes a little bit more than James Harden. So the salaries match. Cavs are trying to get a draft pick out of this, which some people think the reason they're trying to get a draft pick is because they want to take that draft pick and use it for something bigger. Something bigger could be we trade Jared Allen, gets us under the second apron. Now we have a lot of flexibility. Could we then take Evan Mobley And I mean, it might take a Max Strus. It might take a Jalen Tyson. Um, Maybe, I don't know if they're going to take Schroeder, who they just got, flip him. It's going to take some guys, and maybe you go after Giannis. Maybe you take that pick and another pick. I don't think the Cavs would have enough, but it seems like right now this front office is checking all doors. They're checking the James Harden door. They're checking the Giannis door. They're checking the Anthony Davis door. I don't know about that, but they are being very active because they want to win now. Dan doesn't want to pay second apron money if they're not winning now. So here we are. Do you want James Harden? Will it work? Like I said, I don't know. I'm not against them trading Darius. I wish it was for somebody else, not James Harden. But I understand if this is where they're at, the logic behind it. They're no longer banking on the core four. They are open to listening to trade offers for any of them, even Donovan, because if you don't have a good playoff run and he doesn't want to stay, you're going to have to trade him. So I think they're worried about Donovan leaving. You know, he gave it time. They've had time. This core four has had time to turn into something. And it just hasn't. Now, you may say, well, they just need to change some pieces around it. Well, maybe. So maybe you do that and you have an underwhelming playoff performance this year again. Then you're going to have an upset Donovan. And he says, I don't want to sign an extension. Now you go in the next year where it's like, okay, we're going to have to trade Donovan. And you're going to have to bank it on Mobley and what you can get for Donovan, which who knows if you get another superstar back, you might just get tons of picks. We saw, Jaren Jackson Jr. just get traded for tons of picks and a bunch of no names. You've seen Trae Young didn't get traded for much. Luka last year, you didn't get much. So you may not get a superstar back if you have to trade Donovan. So I think they're worried about Donovan leaving. And they've pivoted from core four, this young group, this young nucleus, and them playing together and taking steps together to we have to win now. They're back to where they are or they were in 2018 when LeBron came back. There's no longer we're going to wait for Andrew Wiggins. We're going to wait for I can't even remember who else I had on the team that was young. We're not waiting anymore. This owner wants to win and he wants to win now. And he's paying. I mean, he's paying, $200 million, $300 million, whatever their salary's at to win now. So, like I said, it'll be curious to see if people get upset about the win now. Maybe it's a little different because with Wiggins and whatever young guys we had, you didn't really get to see what was going to happen with them. Where with Darius and Evan, you're seeing this and you're going, you know what? I don't know if they're good enough. So maybe that's why. Or maybe the people that said that just don't like LeBron. And it doesn't matter what he does, what he says. They're just not going to like it. But speaking of LeBron, let's say they trade Darius for James. So you got James Harden, you got Donovan, you got Jalen Tyson at your three, Evan and Jared. You do whatever in the playoffs. Hopefully you have a good run. Make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, make it to the finals, and you lose. Hopefully you win. But let's just say you get there and you don't win it all. LeBron's a free agent at the end of this year. Doesn't seem like the Lakers want him back, especially for what he wants money-wise. Now, maybe they bring him back, 1 year, veterans minimum, which who knows? I don't think he's going to take that. But let's say he takes a pay cut. Does he go back to LA for a year, plays last year, and retire? Or if they're done with each other, which I just saw a report either today or yesterday, that both sides, Lakers done with LeBron, LeBron's done with the Lakers. There's only one place he can come back. If he's playing next year, there's only one place he can go. And it's not Miami. It's in Cleveland. So how would a lineup of James Harden, Donovan Mitchell, LeBron James, Evan Mobley, and Jared Allen work? Jalen Tyson coming off the bench, Sam Merrill coming off the bench. You got Proctor. You got blanking on the guy they just got from Sacramento. Was it Ellis? I think his name is. You got Schroeder coming off the bench, which LeBron's played with Schroeder. And you go make a run for it next year. That seems like that's what's going to happen. And it'll be interesting to see if those people that hate LeBron but are Cavs fans, that's a whole nother thing. That doesn't make sense to me. But hey, you like who you like. If he comes back, I mean, he's going to be 42 next year. You know, he's not the LeBron of old, obviously. So he's a piece. He's not the system. So we'll see. We'll see what the Cavs do here. Like I said, they got 2 more days. There's been some moves today. Like I said, Jaren Jackson's got traded. It looks like Ja is going to be on the move next. Or Memphis is blowing it up. Sabonis from the Kings looks like he's going to get traded. Mike Conley, who just got moved to Chicago, looks like he might get bought out. So it seems like there's a lot of teams making moves to make the big move by Thursday. You know, they're trying to free up. Minnesota's trying to free up some cap space. Wonder why? I wonder who they're going to go after. Maybe they're going to go after a Giannis. So there's been, you know, Chris Paul. I'm seeing right now. Mavericks maybe go after Chris Paul. I mean, Wendy's reported 15 minutes ago Darius Garland is getting in his head that he's gonna be a Clipper, and James Harden is getting in his head that he's gonna be a Cavs. So it seems like this move is gonna happen. So to me, it just tells me that they are in win now. We're tired of waiting. Darius, as good as a player you are, you can't stay healthy, and your ceiling isn't enough. You know, here's an article from Yahoo Sports how the Cavs can get James Harden, Giannis, and LeBron. And I'm not even going to go into that. So yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what they do. Got a couple days, like I said before the trade deadline. And in other news, though, because we do have other sports teams here in Cleveland, the Cleveland Browns named a new football coach today. Todd Monken. That's another move that when I heard it, wasn't excited about it. It's growing on me a little bit. I'm still not excited about it. It's not going to move the needle. Because I'm not in a good spot with my Cleveland teams. Like I said, the Cavs, I wasn't excited about the season. Now if they, you know, rework this roster a little bit, we'll see what happens. The Browns are the Browns. I'm always frustrated with them. And then the Guardians feel like they're the best run team in the city, but they're also the cheapest team. And they see a glaring hole that they need to fix, and they just refuse to spend the money to fix it. They're banking on their young guys to fix it, which that's great. It's usually how they do it. But then at some point, your young guys need paid. And if your name's not Hosey, you don't get paid. So, you know, the Browns, I'm sure if I continue to put episodes out, I'll get back to the Browns and really get talking about them and what they're going to be like next year. But I also wanted to touch on real quick, since it's basketball season and, Cavs or trade deadline, all that. I recently got to go to the Cavs and the Lakers game. Could be LeBron's last game in Cleveland. And I was very fortunate to get tickets from work that I got to sit courtside. Dream of mine. I've always wanted my feet on the court and not just like on the baseline next to the hoop. I wanted to like on the sides. And I got to sit next. Like I basically had JJ Redick in front of me. And I got to take my nephew with me, because he's a big basketball fan. So it was cool to hang out with him and get to sit there. He didn't know where the seats were. So it was a cool surprise. But to get to sit courtside, I'll just say I didn't want the night to end. It was a super cool experience. So blessed I got to do that. And hopefully I can do it again at some point. But if not, I got to do it. So yeah, it was cool. So yeah, guess I'm gonna go ahead. All right. Little technical difficulties there. So yeah, I don't know what's gonna go on with this podcast. Hope to do it again. I would love to have somebody else do it. Like I've said before, it's just much better to be kicking ideas off of each other, theories, conversation. Because when it's just me, I feel like I'm just venting or getting something off my chest, and I got no pushback. I could be completely wrong. I might need someone to talk some sense into me, and I don't have that. So I'm gonna continue to try to do that, and who knows, maybe we'll pump some more episodes out and make this a every week thing or consistent thing. So until the next episode, which hopefully there will be, I'm sure there will be, especially if the Cavs make some moves. Could be one. I might do one Thursday. So if they make some moves, I'll come back and do another one. We'll see what happens. So until the next episode, I'll see you.